Most investors fail, not because they don't know what to buy, but because they don't have a system. Or worse, they can't stick to one. After reading over 100 investing books, I found two that changed everything. One teaches you the exact system used by millionaire traders. The other fixes the biggest obstacle in your investing, your own mind. Now, if you've ever struggled with emotional trades, inconsistent results, or felt that the market is rigged against you, these two books will change how you invest forever. Now, here's what helped me the most. Just accepting that there is a better way. All endeavors have best practices. Investing is absolutely no different. Most people lose money in the stock market because they are stuck somewhere between not knowing what stocks to buy and not having a system to buy them. And then that leads to the challenge of following the system because ultimately it doesn't work and you're trying to fix it. But here's the thing, you can't fix something that is eternally broken. You need a system that is already proven and learn to implement it. Simplicity is absolutely key here. That's why these two books are game changers. One gives you a proven method to profit in any market condition. The other rewires your mindset so you actually stick to the system. Okay, let's break them down. Now, imagine walking into a room full of complete beginners. People who had never traded a stock in their life. Fast forward a few years, and some of them are millionaires. This isn't fiction. In the 1980s, legendary trader Richard Dennis believed that anyone could be trained to become a great investor. He proved it by turning complete beginners into millionaire traders using a strict rules-based system. One of his best students, Curtis Faith, made $30 million by 19. In Way of the Turtle, he breaks down the exact strategy, a strategy based on trend following. Here's what you'll learn. Follow a system, not emotions. The turtles didn't guess. They followed strict entry and exit rules. Ride trends, don't predict them. They bought stocks moving up and cut losers fast. No emotional trading. Risk small, win big. They only risked 1 to 2% per trade, preventing catastrophic losses. Discipline over everything. Every turtle had the same system. The ones who followed it thrived. The ones who didn't failed and were ultimately dropped from the experiment. This is exactly why most investors struggle. They don't have rules. They buy stocks based on emotions, hype, or a friend's hot tip. Then they panic when the stock drops. Way of the Turtle teaches you how to follow a proven strategy, manage risk, and stay disciplined, which is exactly what separates winning investors from ultimately the rest. So if Way of the Turtle gives you the system, Trading in the Zone gives you the mindset to actually follow it. I'm sure you know what it feels like to have that sinking feeling in your stomach when your portfolio is just not performing. Maybe you bought a stock, watched it drop, and then panicked. Or worse, you held onto a loser hoping it would recover, only to lose even more than your initial risk. And the worst feeling of all is that you don't know why. You have zero control over your portfolio. You're not alone. Fear, greed, hesitation, these emotions destroy more portfolios than bad stock picks ever will. That's why Trading in the Zone is a must read. It doesn't just teach you about the market, it teaches you about yourself. Now, going back to the turtle trader experiment, what did Richard Dennis and William Eckhart, the brains behind the experiment, have in common? It's not just intelligence, it's psychological mastery. They understand something 99% of investors don't, and that's exactly what Trading in the Zone reveals. Mark Douglas reveals a harsh truth. The market is unpredictable and you can't control it, but what you can control is your own mindset. So here's how you do that. First, accept uncertainty. Stop trying to predict the market. Think in probabilities, not guarantees. Focus on consistency, not big wins. A single great trade means nothing. Long-term discipline is what builds consistent wealth. Master your emotions. Think in probabilities and follow the system without deviation. Hope, greed, and fear have no room in a good strategy. Now, I've learned these lessons the hard way too. I know what it's like to hold a winning stock and then give all the profit back. and then chase those profits to try and make them back and quickly, and then end up losing even more money. I just don't do it anymore based on having a simple and repeatable system and just following it. These two books were instrumental in that. Mark Douglas teaches you how to stay neutral and ultimately just stick to the plan. Losing is part and parcel of the game. Even the best investors lose trades. The key is following a system that keeps losses to a minimum and wins exponentially larger over time. So how do you apply these books in real life? Let me show you. Picture this: two investors, same starting capital, same market conditions. Investor one checks their portfolio every hour, jumps into hype stocks, panics when price drops, and sells too soon. Their return, well, it's all over the place. Investor two follows a trend following system. They only enter when the conditions are right, manage risk, and don't react emotionally. Their returns, consistent, compounded growth. One investor chases money and is in a constant battle with the market and always ends up on the losing side. The other sits back and lets the money come to them by letting the market do all the heavy lifting. The question that I had to ask myself was, what kind of investor do I want to be? The answer to me was obvious. Trend following reigns supreme. So ask you, what kind of investor do you want to be? Now, before I read these books, I was chasing stocks, trying to get rich overnight. I lacked patience. I would buy stocks at the worst times and sell them in absolute panic. Once I applied what I learned, everything changed. My consistency improved, my returns stabilized, and for the first time, investing felt controlled and predictable. Now, knowing the system and mastering your mindset is one thing, but actually executing it week after week is where most investors fail. That's why I put together the next video where I show you the exact weekly routine we use to consistently profit and average over 30% a year. If you want to see how this all comes together in real time, click on the video and I'll walk you through it. You'll love it.